Speaking of another quarterback, who this is going to be that's how I tie this in. This is kind of works well. If things don't work out in Denver this year with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, Russell Wilson could be gone. Could be out of there. They might give Sean Payton enough power to say, this is not going to work. This experiment is not going to work. I can't fix this dude. He's not. Let's start looking in the draft for a quarterback. Who's the first quarterback they're going to look at? USC's quarterback, Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams has come out this week as dad. I should say his dad. He hadn't said it, but his dad has come out this week. And Caleb Williams has talked about, his team. I may come back to school. He may come back to school and do another year if the organization that's the number one overall pick is not an organization that he likes. If you remember this, the Mannings did this. The Chargers had the number one overall pick at that time, I believe, number one or number two. And Eli was like, we ain't going to the Chargers. Archie said, my boy ain't going to the Chargers. If the Chargers draft him, he will not show up. We're not going to the Chargers. They ended up working things out. Eli ended up in New York. Worked out for him. 2 Super Bowls. But here we are having this conversation with Caleb Williams. And to be honest with you, Caleb Williams is in a really good place. He's in a really good place because, and let me pull up what his daddy said. His daddy said, the funky thing about the NFL draft process is he'd almost be better off not being drafted than being drafted first. So Carl Williams said in a recent interview to GQ. The system is completely backwards. The way the system is constructed, you go to the worst situation possible. The worst team, the worst organization in the league. Because of their desire for parity, you get the first pick. So it's a gift and a curse. So his dad is basically saying, and I'm going to read in between the lines, if the Arizona Cardinals still have the number one pick towards the end of the year, do I want my son to go to Arizona? Do I want him a part of that rebuild, that organization that just can't seem to get right? If not, maybe I'll just have him go back to school for another year. And you're thinking, Jess, you're crazy. Why would he go to school for another year? Well, he's already a Heisman Trophy winner. He's already in the running right now as the lead, as the Heisman Trophy leading candidate this year. If he wins, he'll be only the second player in college football history to win back-to-back Heisman trophies since '75 when Archie Griffin, the Ohio State running back, won his. He's in a great system. He was with Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma, and he left and went to USC. Lincoln Riley came to USC, and now things are working out. Oh, but the important stat is this. I told you guys the new way that college football is being run, NIL. Name, image, and likeness. When you're the quarterback, like in the National Football League, like in college football, at a major Division I program, major NIL deals come with that. If Caleb Williams is true to what his daddy is saying that it is, and that if the team that he's potentially going to go to is the Cardinals or such, then go back to school. He said, why would you turn out all that money to go back to school? I mean, the dream is to go to the league. Caleb Williams going to the National Football League. Whether it's this year or next year, he's going. And he's going to be one of the first quarterbacks taken. But he ain't short on cash. He ain't short on cash in the least bit. In fact, if we were just doing base salaries, he's going to make more money than a lot of the rookies in the NFL are making this year. Now, let's just use Bryce Young. Number one overall pick, Carolina Panthers quarterback. Bryce Young's contract overall is $37 million, which I believe a large majority of that, if not all of that, is guaranteed. He won't get all of that today. He'll get a signing bonus. But Bryce Young's base salary for the 2023-2024 season is $750,000. That's not small change. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have $750,000. Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Maybe we can get there if y'all all watch. Probably not, but let's try. Let's try. Caleb Williams, they're projecting that Caleb Williams in this season alone, not what he done last year, in this season alone will make just under $3 million. Bryce Young, base salary this year, $750,000. Caleb Williams and his NIL deal is projected to make around $3 million. And the difference between Bryce Young's $750,000, Bryce Young got to pay for housing, got to pay for somewhere to live, got to pay for food. Caleb, he could be on off-campus housing. School still pays for that under scholarship. If you ever been around a big-time college program, the training table got all the best food. I get breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. I don't really need to buy food. I got to pay for insurance. Get that during my scholarship. So he's keeping a lot of that bread. Now, you got to pay the California tax on that money, but such is life. So, I mean, you're going to see with the introduction of this new IL, you're going to see more players do this, have this ability to be able to stay in school another year, to be able to make a ton of money. And football, it works well. It's going to work even better in basketball. So many guys were one and dones. I think this evens the playing field sometimes. Those guys in basketball are saying, you know what? If I'm not really a top 10 pick, do I want to go to the G League? Have a two-way contract? Or if I'm the man at a blue bus school, do I forego this $2 million I could probably make in NIL money, merch, all that kind of stuff, and go play for a couple $100,000 in the G League in hopes to get pulled up? This is going to be a fascinating thing to follow. And it's going to be something that we watch all year long with Caleb Williams. I do believe the Cardinals are organically tanking. I think the Kyler Murray experience may be coming to an end. They're going to try to find somehow, some way to get that traded or moved or whatever it may be. They may just eat the money and say, you know what? We screwed up. We screwed up. But Caleb Williams, a generational talent, he's the next. They say Caleb Williams has the Patrick Mahomes-esque type feel to him. The ability to throw the ball all over the yard in many different platforms. Those quarterbacks don't come every year. If you can grab one, it can change the fortune of your franchise immediately. The Chiefs 5 years ago wasn't this. Now they're the hottest team in football, with the baddest man on the planet as their quarterback. If Caleb is that or anything close to that, yeah, he can change your franchise for real. Does he want to come? That's the question. And usually when your team and your daddy, your pappy, is saying that in September, oh, that's been talked about. That's been talked around the family table. They pass in the garlic bread and they pass in the sweet tea. They saying, what we going to do? Because I don't want to go to the Cardinals. Denver could be a situation. I don't know where they want to go, but right now it feels like the writing's on the wall that Caleb Williams does not want to go to Arizona. It'll be something interesting to watch as it develops throughout the year. All right, man, that's it for me.